You walk into a room, someone looks at you and smiles. They say your name, they start talking like they know you, and for a moment, you smile back. Not because you remember them, but because you don't want them to notice that you don't. And if you enjoy content like this, hit like and subscribe. It really helps. Now imagine this isn't just one moment. Imagine it happens again and again and again. This is what researchers have observed in people living with Alzheimer's disease. Not just memory loss, but gradual changes in how the brain processes information, identity, and time. Let's break down what's actually happening. Inside the brain, there's a structure called the hippocampus. It plays a major role in forming new memories. According to research from organizations like the Mayo Clinic and the National Institute on Aging, this is one of the first areas affected in Alzheimer's disease, which means the ability to create new memories starts to weaken, not disappear instantly, but slowly become harder and harder. That's why someone might remember something from years ago, but forget what happened 5 minutes ago. It's not random, it's how the disease progresses. Research also shows that Alzheimer's is associated with the buildup of abnormal proteins in the brain, often referred to as plaques and tangles. These changes have been widely documented by institutions like the Alzheimer's Association, and over time, they interfere with how brain cells communicate. So it's not just memory, it's communication between parts of the brain, gradually becoming disrupted. Now imagine what that feels like. You try to follow a conversation, but halfway through, you lose the thread. You try to remember what you were just thinking, but it's gone. Not hidden, gone. Studies using brain imaging have shown that Alzheimer's disease affects networks involved in memory and self-awareness, including what scientists call the default mode network. This network helps you reflect, remember, and understand your own identity. When it becomes disrupted, the experience of reality can change, not all at once, but step by step. At first, it might feel like simple forgetfulness, misplacing things, repeating questions, losing track of time. But as research from the Centers for Disease Control Prevention describes, Alzheimer's is a progressive condition, which means the changes continue over time, and eventually it can affect language, decision-making, and recognition. Even familiar places can start to feel unfamiliar. Even familiar faces can become difficult to recognize. And here's something important to understand. This isn't about effort. This isn't about trying harder. This is a physical change in how the brain functions, a neurological process, and researchers around the world continue to study it to better understand how it develops and how it can be managed. So when we talk about Alzheimer's, we're not just talking about forgetting things. We're talking about how memory, identity, and perception are all connected and what happens when those connections begin to change. But even through all of that, one thing remains important. Behind the condition, there is still a person, still experiencing moments, still feeling emotions, even if those moments don't last the way they used to. And understanding that changes how we see everything. If this gave you a new perspective, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this.